Deion Sanders and Colorado, as well as Fran Brown and Syracuse, want to change the game of college football in an amazing way. While school after school has decided to cancel their spring games due to fear of losing players to the transfer portal, Sanders and Brown have decided to go in the complete other direction. It is an awesome idea, and I can't wait to see what happens. Hopefully the NCAA makes the right decision for once. But before we get into this, if you enjoy college football content like this, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Also, let me know which spring game matchup you would like to see in the comment section below. Usually around this time, we are getting excited about upcoming spring games, get a sneak peek of what to expect in the upcoming season. It is almost like a little trailer to see highly touted recruits and see what they could do in their new college uniforms, while getting to see the new roster put on a show for fans. It is usually a cheap or free way for fans to get excited for the season and really makes the fans feel like they're a part of the program. It has always been a family event and just a fun thing to talk about until we get to the start of the season. That was until this year. Many schools have either canceled their spring games or have decided to change up the format. Notably, Texas, USC, Nebraska, and Florida State have opted to cancel or modify their traditional spring games for various reasons. Nebraska is canceling their game as, according to head coach Matt Rule, he fears it is a way for opposing coaches and scouts to identify players they would like to bring in via the transfer portal. Texas has decided to cancel their game due to wear and tear on their roster from back-to-back college football playoff runs. Currently, 19 Power 4 programs have canceled their spring game this year. Some schools have opted instead for a spring showcase or an alumni game. The spring game dates back to the late 1800s and has evolved over the last 120 plus years. In 1906, Nebraska played a game against Stone University for the purpose of testing out new rules. In 1910, Kansas held an inter-squad spring game in order to prove that the new rules governing the American game of football had materially lessened the danger of the game, according to a report from the Hutchinson Gazette. By the 1920s, these sort of games were held all across the country at both the college and high school levels, and various newspapers would erroneously claim multiple spring games to be the first of their kind. Spring games have been canceled across the country this year due to paranoia for the most part, according to Kyle Bonagera from ESPN. Why, coaches are wondering, should they invite cameras in to showcase their players and schemes for opposing coaches? If a player performs well, this goes for backups or starters, it may generate interest from other programs who can offer a better role and or more money. If a play is executed well, it's something teams can prepare for as well. There's also no competitive advantage, and that's before factoring in the possibility of injury. An SEC coach said he records every opponent televised spring game, and then the staff watches them in the summer to observe potential personnel changes with new players rather than looking for schematic insights, as the games are intentionally kept basic. It looked like the spring game was going to die a sad death. Even though there were positives, with Missouri head coach Eli Drinkwitz saying it's an opportunity for you to get recruits on campus and get the feel of what a game day experience is similar to. Get to promote your fan base, so by not having that this year, it puts us in a little bit of a bind from not being able to sell that, especially with recruiting being as sped up as it is. That's one of the downsides. One of the positives is you're not putting your players at risk for further injury. Especially when you're investing in these guys and the amount of money that we are, that's one of the risk-reward benefits you have to weigh. That, to me, weighs way more into my mind than tampering or any of the other stuff. Clemson head coach Dabo Swinney does not believe canceling spring games will end tampering in his press conference, while Arizona State head coach Kenny Dillingham's philosophy was doing what was best for his team. He felt his veterans did not need a typical spring game explaining, so I don't need to see a lot of our guys play under pressure. When you don't know who a lot of your guys are, playing in a spring game under pressure, you really get to see them in as close to a game environment as you can create. He also isn't concerned about players being poached because he believes in supporting kids who leave because they don't want to be there, explaining if a kid doesn't want to be here, I don't want to trick him to being here. So I'm a little bit different than other places. Personally, I thought the spring game was going to experience a sad, slow death, which made me sad because it's such a big part of college football. That was until last week when Deion Sanders decided to make headlines. Deion announced that he wanted his team to do something different when it came to playing a spring game. He told the media last week, I would actually like to play this spring game against another team in the spring. That's what I'm trying to do right now. I would like to style it like the pros. I'd like to go against someone in practice for a few days and then you have the spring game. I think the public would be satisfied with that tremendously. I think it's a tremendous idea. I've told those personnel who should understand that it's a tremendous idea. After his press conference, head coach Fran Brown quickly responded on social media saying Syracuse could come to Boulder for 3 days if they will have them. There's just one issue with the plan. Under NCAA bylaws, football teams cannot play against another school in spring games. Good old NCAA being a thorn in the side of creativity when it comes to college football. What's new? Sanders' idea would follow an NFL model. During the summer, NFL teams often conduct joint practices with another team for a week, leading up to an exhibition game between the two sides. In college, teams practice against themselves leading up to an inter-squad scrimmage. For large programs, those exhibition games would be played in front of large crowds. Coach Sanders does not want to see the spring game disappear, explaining, "The way the trend is going is you never know if it's going to be the last spring game. Now I don't believe in that, and I don't really want to condone that. Have it competitive and play against your own guys, it can get kind of monotonous. And you really can't tell the level of your guys. Everybody's moving to stop spring games. I don't know why. You're not going to stop nobody from leaving your program by not having a spring game. You want to save money? Just say that. The kid's already gone. They already reached out and contacted someone else. They're already gone." That takes us to this week. Fran Brown and Deion Sanders are not just saying things to garner headlines, they are following through with their idea. The two would file paperwork with the NCAA to make the game a possibility. Brown said at a press conference on Friday, "For us to be the first to do it at two historic schools would mean a lot. 2 African-American men, too. To have that opportunity of doing that means a lot, especially with Deion Sanders being an icon." College football programs are allowed 15 practices during a 35-day window in the spring. Colorado's spring game, which is scheduled to be an inter-squad scrimmage, is on April 19th, the same day as Syracuse's final spring practice. The NCAA FBS Oversight Committee meets next on April 10th, when it could possibly approve or deny Syracuse and Colorado's request. A joint spring game or practice has never happened in college, despite coaches lobbying it for years. However, major programs have begun deciding to end the tradition of a spring game. Nebraska, Oklahoma, Texas, USC, and Florida State are among those not hosting one in 2025. I hope the NCAA allows this to happen, as this could be a game changer. With the possibility of bye games ending as teams try to make tougher out-of-conference schedules or conferences become bigger, this could serve as a replacement to help save the lower level of college football. Along with that, television networks would eat this up, as it could become a major television product. Imagine if Ohio State decided to schedule a spring game with Tennessee or Alabama. It would provide a competitive opportunity for younger players and could excite fans even more to come out for the game. This could change college football and could save the spring game. While it probably will be more like an NFL preseason game, it could provide something more competitive than the previous spring game's iteration. This proposal excites me, and I hope Deion Sanders and Fran Brown can not only save the spring game, but change it forever. What do you think? Does this spring game idea excite you? Let me know in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to check out one of my other videos YouTube thinks you will love right here. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, remember to embrace the grind.